Slayer how-to guide, build guide, style guide, rotation guide, whatever you want to call it. It's a very basic guide. In no way am I saying this is the way to play a Slayer, or this is the way to build a Slayer, or anything along those lines. This is how I play my Slayer for my type of game time investment and things of that nature. I generally spend most of my time playing either by myself or with a small group of pugs. On occasion, though, I do play with C&TK, either in a 6-man or in a warband scenario. However, I do not change my spec or my layout or loadout or anything along those lines for any of those. It is what it is, and either it works or it doesn't work. I don't worry about it too much. So, to get things started, this is my current build. Okay, so this does not change hardly ever. On occasion, I might change a tally here and there if I figure it'll help out. I'm not going to go over everything in detail, so I'll go ahead and pause the video if you want to look at anything. This is without any pots, so generally speaking, I run a plus 80 pot of strength and a 660 armor pot. Are the two pots that I run all the time. So, quickly, my gear is, I run Overlord. I run this because of the haste. Auto attack haste, then Conquer shoulders, Beast Lord back. I'm not going to say it, you can just read it. Pause it if you want to look at everything. Okay. Skip all that. So, that's my gear loadout for my Slayer. Okay. Now, when it comes to rotation or styles, not styles, but rotation, I have 4 that I always use, no matter the combat scenario, and a few that are dependent on the scenario. So, I'm going to show you on this Stone Troll, which used to be Champions, so this probably won't work very well, but I always open with Onslaught. So, Onslaught is your frontal cone AoE. So I always open with that. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. So I always open with that. Then I will use the slowdown, which is, just as it says, it's a slowdown to snare the opponent in decent damage. After that, I will apply my ID, which is a dot that is applied towards him and anyone around him. Okay? And then that's on a 5-second timer. My anytime is Pulverizing Strike. Okay, so I will apply the ID, then I will apply Pulverizing Strike, and that's my anytime, no cooldown. So, and then I'll just repeat the rotation as I fight. So, okay, so that's what I do. Now, the abilities that I use depending on the scenarios are, I always use Rampage, for one thing. All Slayers should run Rampage. I don't care what spec you are, two-handed, dual wield, whatever. Should always run Rampage. I should say once I get into yellow and in a rage, I'll pop Rampage. And then if needed, I will pop my ROA, which is my self melee heal. Okay? So I will pop that. I basically just repeat everything over and over again as I try to manage my rage depending on the scenario. So I'll just repeat that. Now, the styles that are dependent on the scenario is going to be a Spine Crusher. That's my rear attack. So if someone is running away from me, I will apply that. See right here, so I'm applying it. I knocked him down, so I'll apply that. Reapply Rampage. Go through my rotation, and then if needed, apply my ROA and let that go burn through. And then just repeat. That is really basically the quick summary of my styles and rotation. Now, all Slayers have charge, which just allows you to run faster without burning your AP. You're break free, so if you get snared, you can break free. I use Wild Swing to burn rage if I need to, or if I'm in a very tight area and I have, AoEs would work, then I will do Wild Swing. And then, of course, the all-famous Flurry, which I really don't use all that often, except in this scenario. I will do it just to pull these mobs, and I'll show Wild Swing. So. I hit the wrong ability. Here, I'll use ROA, heal up. It's not as good as a dock heal. Wild Swing and dead. So that is a quick breakdown of my styles or abilities, what do you want to call them. Now, the tactics I run is going to be Brute Force, which probably every Slayer runs. Rip, which is the parry tactic. Okay, flanking. So I run flanking myself because the characters or people that I'm going after will generally run away from me. Squig herders, healers, things of that nature. So that gives me a melee buff when they turn their back on me, or if I can get to the sides of them. So it helps out, in these types of instances where I'm, on the side or rear of someone. And then the last one is Wild Gambit. So Brute Force and Wild Gambit are basically must-haves. Unfortunately, I wish I could get rid of one of them, but I just have to run both of them. So that is a quick guide to my Slayer. Again, this is by no means a end-all, be-all. You must run it like this. Most Slayers will run theirs differently than what I do. So there it goes, just a quick rotation of doing that. So that's my exact rotation right there. We'll switch to him because the other one will die through the dot. Let's knock him down. Let's go to the back of him. Do a spine crusher. So then we can leave him alone. Let the dot hit him. Dot's over with. There you go. So, again, very high level function of how I play my Slayer, depending on the scenario. Okay? Well, anyway, thanks again, and have a great one, everyone.